Welcome once again to Based on True Events or Biased on True Events. That is what we in the industry call wordplay. I am just using politics to do jokes. Okay, I am a communist and this is my basement. It is very sturdy so that I will not be invaded by United States. Yeah, so let's start with something like sad and we'll progressively move our way to dumber things essentially. Football legend Maradona passed away this week, and for those of you who are into football, you would know Maradona. For those of you who are not into football, you would still know Maradona because that's what he is. Because a lot of people, when Maradona passed away, they were like, oh, he was on drugs, he was a horrible person to his son, he was irresponsible. See, that's all fine, but there is a time and place for these things. Let people mourn. After that, you come with your criticism. No one is telling you to shut the fuck up about criticism. Be a human being. Another thing which I read, people who are praising Maradona kept talking about this hand of God. Most people might not be knowing this one thing called the goal of the century. What happened was right after hand of God, Maradona went from the center towards the goal, beating 4 players, including the goalie, and scored a goal right after hand of God. The goal of the century. Let's move on to funnier things, right? I feel like once a week I should cover what Donald Trump is doing because he'll be doing some nonsense. He's still failing. Donald Trump has said that the US elections is like a third world elections. Macha, it is not like third world elections at all. Here, election happens first of all digitally. It's electronic voting. So counting will happen immediately. It won't take 70 years to finish the counting. Apart from that, after the election happens, the fascist party will lose, then Amit Shah will go bribe them and then they will win. That is what happens here. That is not what is happening in the United States. You are actually losing. I saw this one tweet about Donald Trump where they said that, hey, Donald Trump is kind of like, imagine you're stuck in an elevator or a lift, as we Indians call it, with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump just before exiting, he farts. And then he exits as if no one, without giving any attention. I don't think that's an accurate description. What Donald Trump is actually doing is Donald Trump and the entire United States is stuck in an elevator or a lift. He squats down, takes a shit in front of everyone, says it's Joe Biden who put that shit there, and then walks out of the elevator. That's what that asshole is doing right now. The last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I've been updating that there has been a priest who's been in prison for almost 2 years. His name is Stan Swami. 80-year-old, needs a straw, has Parkinson's disease. They said we'll get back to you in 20 days. 21 days later, they got back to him saying, no, you can't have a straw. A straw. That what is he going to do? He's going to dig a hole for the next 2000 years and get out of it like Shawshank Redemption or what? Elderly, 83-year-old, Parkinson's disease person a straw. But they gave Arnab Goswami a bail in 7 days, in lesser time. That is your country right now. Be proud. But let's get to the main news, guys. The main news. Jallikattu made by Lijo Jose Pellicheri from Kerala, a Malayalam language movie, is India's official entry into the Oscars. Definitely would recommend that movie. It is a movie directly related to beef eating. Imagine that. India's official Oscar entry is about eating beef. The shortest summary of Jallikattu is beef escaped. There are uncles, like Brahmin uncles in North India, who will not get an erection for the next 17 years after hearing this. Last year, India's official entry into the Oscars was Gully Boy. It is the movie where Ranveer Singh pretended to rap while doing this with his hand. Was there no Bengali available in Mumbai at that time to create a very pretentious slow movie? The next story is about kissing in the temple. So Meera Nair, who for most of you do not know makes a lot of controversial movies, pretty fun director. Meera Nair, known for controversy, she made a movie based on the book called A Suitable Boy, which I have not read. I don't know. Meera, it's a Suitable Boy is a series. Apparently, they're saying it's not a good enough interpretation of the book. They have all these complaints. But the problem India has is that a Muslim boy and a Hindu girl kiss in the temple. Muslim boy, Hindu girl. If it was reversed, they would not have a problem. Okay. Kissing, temple. 3 levels of getting offended. It directly leads to our next story. Love jihad basically is that Muslim men are out there to actively marry and convert Hindu women so that the Hindu women will not breed more Hindu men. Again, a religion which has an 80% majority in the country is now afraid of extinction. Did you know that in 1935 the Nazis introduced a bill called the Law for Protection of German Blood and German Honor? They had to use the word German twice. It said that an Aryan German should not marry a Jewish German. And they are the ones who introduced a love jihad bill in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, where this week a photo surfaced of a stray dog eating the dead body of a girl who was admitted into the hospital. They don't have time for this, but they do have time for bloody love jihad bill. I'm not going to call it love jihad bill anymore. I'm going to call it the Nazi bill. Madhya Pradesh also introduced a cow cabinet, which is chaired by the chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. How jobless are you? At this point of time, if a farmer is in debt, Madhya Pradesh will support the farmer's cow, but not the farmer. Love jihad, this cow cabinet, all of that, it is all coded language for anti-Muslim nonsense. 100% anti-Muslim nonsense. I would take the responsibility to point out any bullshit anyone does in the name of Hinduism. What I implore people out there is to do that for their religion. You will have to speak out against the violence of your religion, and I will speak out the violence against my religion so that we do not have violence. I would rather stay at home all days looking at photos of cats, but unfortunately I am impeded in my efforts due to the racist, casteist, misogynist people out there. So it is within my responsibilities to shut them the fuck up so that I can get back to my cat photo looking days. Now I'm going to talk some shit about the Kerala government. 1 week ago, when I was going to do this show, part about Section 118, which is a new law which the Kerala government was going to introduce. And as per that, anyone offended by anything on the internet can report against that person. So if I am saying something offensive against, let's say, Sadhguru, also known as fraud number 1, if I say some shit against him, you who is a fan of Sadhguru, unfortunately, can go and complain against me. And this becomes a non-bailable offense. 1 week ago, I was going to shit on the Kerala government. That Monday, Pinarayi Vijayan, our chief minister, reversed and said, I was making joke. It's a prank. Look, check out the cameras over there, guys. So, because Kerala is kind of like with a hostile central government, what happens is, the same thing which happened to South American countries when they started introducing communism. When they did that, they were former colonies and they had a huge imperialist asshole right above them called the United States, who would constantly attack these countries. So because of that, these countries became very defensive. It's like they kind of fortified themselves, and instead of just implementing socialism, they kind of evolved into battle socialism, where they are kind of not trusting their own bloody countrymen, because anyone could start a coup in their country and they think that could be the United States. Suppressed a lot of rights within their own countries in order so that the United States won't fuck them over or some other imperialist country won't fuck them over. I believe that was the true intention of this bill. Kerala wanted to introduce Section 118 so that it can suppress the dissident forces such as the BJP supporters and the Hindus. The problem with that is this current government will not always be in power. Congress can come back into power, maybe just like some guy who says something sexist and then says that, hey man, I was just joking. The current government, they introduced the bill, and then since people protested against it, they said like, yeah, no, we were just joking. We are not going to introduce that. We don't know what his original intentions are. We can't ever tell. We get to the final story, which is about the farmers' protests. Then there is a very good video on YouTube by one person called Amit Sengupta. 10 minutes it is, okay. You can take some time out of your ADHD lives to go watch that 10-minute video. It explains very well what the farmers' bills are, essentially. This year, they introduced 3 farmers' bills, okay. I'm not going to even try to name them. 3 things which you should be noting and how it affects you. First is that the farmers can create direct legal contracts with their company. Problem with that is that farmers might not have that much support on a legal side. Do you think if you try to sue Airtel that you are going to win, even if you are in the right? No, they have money, they have lawyers, they have experience. Second law was essentially that again we had something called mandis, which is like a farmers negotiation table. Farmers and the buyers get to negotiate what is the price, and we have something called an MSP or the minimum selling price, so that the farmers get like a decent deal. Except what happens is most farmers do not have access to this, either because transport is horrible or because they're not so widely available in that state. The price is being fixed by the brokers, who are mostly profit mongering assholes. So this bill, what it introduces is that, hey, you can sell outside of a mandi. The problem with that is that now no longer do you have an MSP or a minimum selling price. It's an open market. It's a free market. Do you know the problem with free market is markets sometimes crash. Case in point, 2008 recently happened. Markets crash. So that definitely is going to crash, and when the market crashes, what happens? Third bill, which is about essential commodities, and it's against the concept of hoarding. You keep a lot of products to yourself so that you can artificially inflate the value of that. Supply and demand, that sort of shit. You decrease the supply, you make sure the demand goes up, sell it at a higher profit. A lot of things are prevented under that. Example, right now, masks, sanitizers are under that protection. You cannot artificially inflate their prices. This farm bill says that things like basic things like cereals and onions are no longer on that list. Once again, cereals, onions are no longer on the list. Any one asshole can actually purchase a lot of cereals, basic shit which we need to eat, and onions, and artificially increase the prices until it reaches like 50 or 100% of the original price, in which case the government will get involved. What these bills combined is telling you is that the current government wants to get the fuck out of the agricultural sector. Instead of them, they want to introduce private marketeers. The government is no longer going to help the farmers. Already they're not helping the farmers, mind you. Tamil Nadu farmers protests happened for a long time. No one cared. Currently, farmers' protest is happening. What are they doing as of now? This is what they did. Farmers lathi charged water cannons. They dug up literal highways. Again, destroyed infrastructure. Most people are saying these farmers are misled by Congress. So when it is convenient for them, Congress is a bunch of idiots. But right now, Congress somehow magically convinced multiple farmers across the country to protest against BJP. Yes, Schrodinger's Congress. Simultaneously brilliant tacticians and also huge idiots. Respect the farmers not because they put food on your plate, but because they are doing the work of creating the food which you are not. Okay, you don't have the extra time to grow your own food. They are doing it for you. Shut the fuck up.